Hello fellow Star Wars fans, this is Starrapter here, and this is another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. Now every week I tell you guys about all the latest in the Star Wars continuity, ranging from the TV series, to the novels, to the comics, to the video games. And with this week it brought us another new episode of Star Wars Rebels titled The Forgotten Droid. I'm going to be talking about spoilers here, so before you watch this video, make sure you go and watch the episode. Ready? So, did I like this episode? I liked it more than I thought I would. So basically the plot of the episode follows as the rebels are on their way to developing a base far away in this other system. Turns out that their carrier is low on fuel, so they need fuel. I feel like this is always something that they have to always find is fuel every other episode. But anyway, they actually find that there's going to be a shipment of fuel in this nearby Imperial system. So they go and that's the mission, is the rebels are going to get this fuel, bring it back to the fleet, and they're going to go and make their base, finally, because they've been drifting in space for, it seems like, months now. So, along the way, they bring Chopper, of course, and Chopper gets sidetracked by a nice shiny leg to replace his mismatched one. So he actually leaves the ship, but then they leave without him, the rebels. So he's stranded on this planet. Turns out he steals a leg from this vendor who's also an Ugnaught, so that's really cool. I love Ugnaughts. And he goes aboard this carrier ship of cargo ship, and it's Imperial. And Chopper actually finds and makes a friend of this inventory droid named AP5. Now AP5 is very loyal to the Empire, but throughout the episode, Chopper actually is able to turn him into sort of a friend. And so it turns out that the place that the rebels were heading to the entire time to make a base is actually being set up as a trap. They learned this from Chopper talking to the droid, so really Chopper saves the day, sort of like how R2-D2 saves the day a lot of the times. That's the story goes here. The rebels are in a deep conflict battle with the Empire. Chopper gives them the right intel, they get the fuel, and they move on, and that's the episode. So, things I liked about the episode: first of all, Ketsu's return. Way back, Blood Sisters episode, one of the first episodes of Season 2, we see that the bounty hunter is actually helping the rebels. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm pretty sure she was still going to be a Lone Star after Blood Sisters for the most part. But Sabine's friend has returned, and she actually helps out the rebels in that battle against the Star Destroyer and a couple of those ships. She has a really cool ship. Seems like she's a good pilot, so I'd like to see more of her definitely in this series. Obviously, this is a Chopper-centric episode, and I love how they actually explored Chopper's story in this. It was really cool that he's actually a Republic droid. He was, on a Y-wing. He crashed down. Hera picks him up on Ryloth, obviously, so it's like they got this strong bond going all the way back to her time on Ryloth, which I found really fascinating. Also with Chopper is his relationship with AP5. It's really cool how they start off as kind of adversaries and enemies, but they learn about each other's past and find out they were both in the Republic. And what's the point of being enemies? I mean, he's not being treated well, AP5. He's being treated like a droid. And Chopper kind of tells him, there's more out there. So it's really cool seeing that bond form. Another thing I liked was the sense of urgency in this episode, where Chopper has to make a decision to get this information out to the rebels, to tell them to not go to the other planet because it could be a trap. And another thing was the end of the episode. Really, this is what really turned my thoughts on an episode that I didn't really like into something I really liked, was the sacrifice of AP5, alerting the Alliance or the rebels to the trap. And then, of course, he gets shot by the Imperial, and then you see Chopper actually making the sacrifice of giving away parts on that, I think he named it an ambulatory appendage or something, of basically the leg he was holding the whole episode, to AP5, so that they both had nice sacrifices because they were droids, and I thought that they were friends. And I thought it was funny how there's a joke like Hera says, he has no friends, Chopper has no friends, after AP5 says this is Chopper's friend. You know, it's like it's just really funny. And I'll go to the cons. Things I didn't like, which really set me off put by the first 5-10 minutes of the episode, was the humor was just so childish. It was pretty hard to bear in this episode. I know it's on Disney XD, but you know, I think we really need to get away from some of this humor anymore. It just really grinds my gears, if you know what I mean. Also, the Imperial officer that's on that cargo ship that Chopper beats twice. Even the guy has a gun and doesn't fire it. And also, don't even get me started on the stormtroopers, because we all know how bad their aim is, and they missed both the protocol droid that moves like 2 miles an hour and Chopper running down a hallway that's like, you know, 100 feet long in a straight line. It's just, yeah, so the Imperials definitely need to step it up, is basically what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Rebels. We only have 2 more episodes, I'm pretty sure, left in this season. Still so much to conclude here. I am very, very excited for the next episode to see where they actually end up. Is it a planet we know of from Legends? I really hope it's something really interesting. So tell me, guys, what did you think of Rebels this week, The Forgotten Droid? What are you thinking of Rebels so far for Season 2? Are you excited for the upcoming finale? What do you expect to be happening in these next 2 episodes? Just please let me know in the comment section below. That wasn't all we had this week. We had, I'm sad to announce, the conclusion of the Marvel comic series Kanan. It had a 12-issue run, and it's really sad because I really enjoyed it, and I think a lot of people will agree to me. This is one of the best series that Marvel has done at all. I mean, compared to the mainline Star Wars and Darth Vader, this one definitely is very quality. Every issue that came out with this, both art and writing, is just phenomenal. And so with this last issue, I am going to get into a little bit of spoilers for some appearances at the end of this comic issue, so please, if you haven't read it or you're very excited to read it, you might want to skip ahead to the end of the episode here. So the plot basically goes, Kanan, as we know throughout this second arc, has been stuck in a back chamber on Kalar, as the Rebels' mission was to get cargo to bring back to Lothal. So now that Kanan finally has awoken and is out of the back chamber, they killed the stormtroopers or dispatched them, whatever, and they got the cargo. So basically Kanan and Ezra stayed on Kalar because they had an alert from an old friend of Kanan. So the Rebels, Zeb, Hera, Chopper, Sabine, they went back to Lothal to deliver the cargo, and now Kanan and Ezra are answering this call. And they go to this planet to meet Kanan's friend, who looks like a turtle, basically, without a shell, which is kind of funny. And they find out that the friend isn't there anymore. He got captured by the Imperials on a nearby system. So now it's a rescue mission that Kanan and Ezra are on. So Kanan goes to this nearby system, and they set up a distraction plan with Ezra and Kanan. Ezra's gonna walk up, you know, distract the stormtroopers. Kanan's gonna go in, sneak in there, and get the guy out. So it turns out that they get the guy out, or Kanan goes in there, is about to get the guy out, and what happens? He runs into an old friend, and who might that be? None other than now Vice Admiral Ray Sloane. Now, this is one of my favorite characters in the new Star Wars canon, and I'll go over that later and when I talk more about her. But yeah, Kanan runs into her and has a nice little conversation, and just simply force pushes her after she threatens to use her blaster on him, which I thought was kind of funny. And then Kanan rescues the guy, and they go back, and basically Gamak Key, which is one of the representatives on Kalar, which is helping Kanan, basically says, oh yeah, the family that Kanan helped out, they're gonna be like change their names. The Empire won't bother them again, and everybody kind of lives happy ever after. Casimir makes an appearance at the end, who apparently helped Ezra at one point, distracting the guards, that we later find out. So everything's pretty much tied together in this last issue. I mean, originally Kanan wasn't even supposed to be a main series. It was only supposed to have like 5 issues or something, and they just completely expanded it more because everybody loved it. It's just so good. But getting back to this issue, what I really liked about this entire issue here was, first of all, there is, if you notice the first couple pages, they're bringing more ships back from Legends, of course. I love how they're doing this. It looks like we had Kyle Katarn's ship, if you remember, from Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. So that was really cool, seeing them making more nods, not only in Rebels, but into the comics as well, to some of this EU stuff. Also, I like the relationship between Ezra and Kanan. You know, this is their earlier relationship during season 1 of Rebels, before they take out the Inquisitor. You know, it's just, you see Ezra's kind of like a whiny kid, you know, so full of himself, and Kanan just kind of fed up with him as well, so you see that banter back and forth. I really love the part with Ezra luring the guards away, you know, just Ezra feeling like, again, super confident, like, oh, this is Lothal, you know, and he just simply gets outmanned by these stormtroopers, and that was quite comical for sure. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say one of my favorite parts of this issue was Vice Admiral Ray Sloan. I mean, I kind of just cheered when I seen her reveal on here. I mean, I love this character. She was first introduced in Star Wars A New Dawn, which you could find my review for on my YouTube here. She's also got brought back into Aftermath. So I love how they're really exploring Ray Sloan only through the canon, through the books, and the comics. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before we see her at least in Rebels or some other thing, maybe in a future movie. Who knows? We don't know. I mean, in Aftermath right now, she's still living, so who knows what's going to happen. But, yeah, very, very cool Imperial character. She's got, you know, certain motives now that Kanan outed her the one time by freezing her. I love how they do that flashback frame of her being in a stasis chamber. I actually had to go back through A New Dawn and flip through the pages to see what exactly happened in that exchange, and I love when books just have this, the Star Wars books have these continuity where you can kind of go back and see, like, oh, that happened there, you know, that's super interesting to me. And of course, the Inquisitor reveal, talking to Vice Admiral Ray Sloan, saying, you know, oh, I want to know more about this hobby of yours. You know, who is this person? You know, she's gonna reveal to him that, yeah, his name doesn't exist. And I think that might actually be something that Inquisitor finds out, is, you know, his actual name, Caleb Doom. But anyway, yeah, it's just sad to see that Kanan go. It's been a nice run. Like I said, there's not really been any throwaway issues, any filler. I love the art, nice and vibrant. This is like the only canon stuff that has shown some clone troopers, which I freaking love. Especially that first arc really showed case of clone troopers. But yeah, guys, what did you think of this issue? And have you read the entire Kanan series? What'd you think of it? Maybe we can get some more Rebels character miniseries or entire lines eventually. Maybe we'll get like a Hera comic line or something. That'd be really, really cool. So tell me what you thought in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up symbol if you like the video. If you like this video, you might want to subscribe to my channel, where you find other videos such as my video of my predictions of the This Is Madness character tournament on StarWars.com. If you don't know too much about that, basically every year StarWars.com kind of emulates with the popularity of the NBA, you know, the 32 bracket or 32 player kind of thing, where you just vote for your favorite characters every day in a head-to-head tournament. Eventually come out to championship, and basically last couple of years, I think it's gone on for 3 years before this, they've had Yoda win, they've had Obi-Wan win, and then last year it was Vader win. You know, you can see who I predict to win in that video. It's pretty fun just to talk about your favorite characters, comparing, oh yeah, I think this guy would just totally take this guy out. So definitely check that out. Please follow me on Twitter at Starrapter, as well as like my Facebook page at Starrapter. Thanks for watching, guys, and may the Force be with you.